Welcome back to Star Wars Nerds Unite. I am Tim Van Autrive, one of your three hosts. Joining me as always are Josh the Tosh, internet famous. So famous, he wears a tux and dates the internet. Hi, Josh.
Hi.
This is the best picture I ever made in my whole life.
Yeah, it's probably the only picture you've ever made in your whole life.
And Jennifer Van Autrive, how are you?
I'm all right.
Fantastic. Jenny.
What?
Today, we're going to do a feedback-only episode. Generally, in the past, we typically only do, like, we read something or experience a trailer or something, and then we discuss it at length and then read some feedback. But we have so much feedback that we are going to just do an entire episode reading the feedback and discussing it. So we get a lot of clamoring for us just talking, and that's what this episode is. So the fans are going to just explode out of the woodworks. We're going to get to come up with a crazy title based on some in-joke that we end up with in the middle of this podcast. It won't have to be named after whatever we're talking about. It's going to be amazing. You watch.
Okay.
All right. Good.
Way to hype that up.
Lots of excitement. So before we started, Josh started a Periscope feed, which I think actually posts to our Twitter feed. So if you want a tour...
I don't know if the video stays there.
It does.
Oh, okay.
It does. So if you want a tour of the Star Wars Nerds Unite podcast studios, you can go in there and have all of the visions in your head about how glamorous this
I wish I
location
could have cleaned up first and got the dirty
is.
mattress out of here.
Yeah.
And then you
That's just how it is.
I noticed that you just left that Kroger bag on the floor.
That's my Kroger bag.
I know.
Yeah, that's his Kroger bag.
You didn't even move it.
Why would I? It's
I don't know.
why sugarcoat it?
Yep.
So we're gonna dig right in.
So you're telling me that the Periscope stuff stays there after you're done recording?
Aren't you on Twitter? Can't you see it?
I don't
Or
know.
Are you having
That's
trouble
what
finding it?
Yeah.
I'm having trouble finding it.
It should be super simple, Josh. Just
can
go to
just-
Twitter.
you can
it's
just-
right there.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody
you guys are
can
killing
see
me.
it.
You guys are killing me to death. You just go to your own feed. You when you're logged in as Star Wars Nerds, you just...
So there's one from about 7 p.m. Central Time. You should watch it. It's my son picking out his bedtime clothes.
Yeah, it's totally there.
Yeah.
It ended. 6 viewers. I'm going to retweet it. I'm going to retweet it right now, live on the air.
See?
He was mistaken about what clothing.
This is a game that he plays every night.
What is the game?
It's 2 pairs of pants.
He always intentionally picks 2 pairs of pants.
And he pretends that he's not.
Yeah.
These are definitely pants.
It's like trying to pull one over on you already.
Yeah, he is. He always is.
What if you just were like, okay, get dressed?
He wouldn't figure it out. He'd say, these aren't pants.
Just let him put them on.
That was my test broadcast. So I hope you love seeing Job try to pick out his bedtime clothes. Well, that's cool. I didn't realize it saved it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can definitely go back and watch the tour.
Yeah, and we could
It's super exciting.
We could record the entire episode that way.
We could, but I don't, unless we come up with a cool holder, like we can't get a good perspective.
Oh, we can do it.
Well, maybe we'll figure that out someday.
All right, so we're going to dig in. We're going to start with Facebook, move to Twitter so that Jennifer and Josh get real angry, and then we'll switch to letters, which is the preferred format. Letters at starwarsnerdsunite.com. That's where you'll get us.
Yep.
Oh, Jenny is playing with Periscope while we're
I was
on the
trying to
air.
She's watching the tour.
But you're not doing it. It's just like pointed down at the carpet. There's nothing.
Well, that's because
Yeah.
I was sitting in the chair
it's
trying
'cause
to
he
figure out what's going
He didn't
on.
know how to do it. He didn't know how to point a camera. He's very confused. First bit of feedback was
Is
on...
this 31 minutes long?
I don't know. How late did I wait for you people to be ready? You tell me.
If you skip to the end, I'm in it. And that's
Yeah.
the best part.
It's just staring down at our bookshelf.
For the first
and
2 minutes,
carpet.
yeah.
Oh
Eventually,
my gosh.
I'm in 7 minutes.
I'll keep moving. It's just Meg and I talking. See, here I'm giving a tour.
Okay, here's a tour. People can join in and talk.
Yeah.
They can chat. Yeah.
Yeah, they chat with us live.
Oh my gosh, this is weird.
You mean cool?
Yeah.
Super cool.
So we could do a live feedback episode if we were so inclined.
If we had more Twitter followers?
Yeah.
For as much Twitter interaction as we get, I'm kind of disappointed with how many followers we have.
Whatever.
It's weak. All right, here we go. You'll have to stop me because I'm not 100% sure where we left off on feedback, but...
Well, I was going to say, why don't we just do the comments for each episode?
Yeah, I'm going to. That's what I'm
All right.
doing. So on
73.
On 73, we had IC Spidey. He said, OMG, I was not expecting an episode so soon. It is a pleasant surprise. Yes, it was. We posted a bunch of episodes in a row. Then we gave a week break, and we dropped the end of Kanan. And then this one's fallen on you pretty quickly.
Hopefully.
And then we're going to do, I think, 2 books in a row, right, Josh?
We're definitely prepared for Bloodlines. Once you finish
Bloodline, yeah.
Life Debt. then
Yeah,
we'll do that
I'll
one too.
have Life Debt done because I got to go to Mississippi at the beginning of next week, so
Yeah.
I'll definitely have it done, and
Yeah.
then I'll be totally ready for that one as well.
Then after that, we'll have to figure out what we're going to talk about. Probably some comic books. We've got the Poe comic. We have not talked about Anakin and Obi-Wan.
I haven't read those yet.
I know. Neither have I. I've read Poe, but I haven't read. I'm not up to speed on a lot of them.
Yeah, we need to catch up, and that's part of the fun of this podcast is staying up about 6 months behind.
Yeah.
Kanan number 8, we had some feedback from Joel D. Shepman, the muster guy. He says, I figured I would give this Facebook thing a try. He's very trepidatious. I liked this episode and the short bite-sized episodes for individual comics. Boom. This is going to be a common thread, is the warring factions between people that love the short ones and love the long ones.
Yeah.
He says, it is the perfect length for listening on the commute to work. One thing, though, Zool, the gatekeeper of Gozer, was from Ghostbusters, and Vigo, the Carpathian, was from Ghostbusters, too. Just thought you'd like to know. Have a great rest of your weekend. So,
You blamed it on the Ghostbusters reboot.
yeah. And then he said, sure, blame it on all new all-female Ghostbusters. It was a joke, because everybody was blaming
I
the
really want to
female
go watch it,
Ghostbusters.
but I have not. I don't get to go to movies.
Yeah?
I could, but I'd have to go by myself.
Why don't you... We would watch the kids.
Well, it's not that. Like,
Well, what is it then?
no one else will go.
Megan won't go with you.
I don't know.
Jenny,
She-
you know what? Jenny loves going to movies.
Going to the movies is one of my favorite things to do. I'll
She
go to
would
any
go-
movie, anytime.
I want to go see the new Ghostbusters movie. I haven't seen it yet.
Even if it's I don't like to see the same movie more than once, but I'll see any new movie in the theater.
Yeah.
No, not any new movie, but I'll see a lot of movies.
You guys should go. Go together.
Try and
Why
figure
don't
out-
you want to go to the movies?
I don't know, because I don't want to waste the money.
Oh, I love going to the movies.
I'd rather just wait and watch it on my Apple TV. Unless it's a big movie.
For most things, I agree, but I think I want to see Ghostbusters on a big screen.
I want to see Suicide Squad tomorrow night.
Yeah, that'd be a good one to go see too.
Tomorrow.
It comes out tomorrow.
Wow. Really?
Or
Yeah.
maybe Saturday during the day.
It's probably tonight then.
Yeah, it's probably tonight.
All right. So Kanan number 11, we got some feedback on episode 77. Icy Spidey again. He says, this cover is hands down my favorite cover of not just Kanan, but all of the Star Wars comic covers so far. If Josh wants more letters, then more letters Josh shall have.
And there's a emoji with Luke and Leia drinking blue
Yeah.
milk.
Drawn by Katie Cook, who, artist extraordinaire. I met in Artist Alley when she was small time, and now she's big time, drawing Facebook stickers.
Nice.
She's cool. I like her.
Her Facebook stickers do remind me of her. Does she do all of them?
No, but she did the Star Wars ones.
Oh, like the big fat cats remind me of her.
Yeah, a little bit. Her cats look a little different than that.
Today I discovered there's an emoji on Facebook that is a little swirly pile of poop with an awkward smile on it.
He was trying to find something that best depicted me.
Like an awkwardly walking penguin, because all penguins are awkward looking when they walk.
Yeah.
Why do you think I look awkward when I
No,
walk?
I'm saying it because I said an awkward comment.
Oh, okay.
And so I was going to put an awkwardly walking
And
penguin
then you put 2 piles of poop instead.
with an awkward, like, creepy smile.
Hmm.
And I just think it's hilarious that somebody
got
Some
paid.
person was paid exorbitant amounts of money, and they were like oversight review meetings in some corporate setting to talk about
It
a
wasn't.
smiley face on a pile of poop.
It wasn't necessarily.
Are you talking about the regular poop emoji
Big
that everybody
corporate.
sees?
No.
No.
Oh, it's a different one?
Yeah, it's a new one.
Well, the normal like poop emoji, like Nora went to a birthday party last week and she like special ordered one of those poop emoji pillows with like
Yeah.
in pink for her friend for her birthday.
That's kinda
It's like
weird.
some inside joke, but it's like everybody knows that emoji.
Yeah, that showed up in my Facebook order or my Amazon orders, and I was like, "What? What? Say what?" But we did get an affiliate bonus for that.
Yeah, thank you
Poop
for
pillow.
ordering a poop pillow.
Thank you.
I'm
Nora.
still waiting for the vomit emoji.
Yeah, I can see it in your future.
I'm sure there's one there somewhere.
There's not. I looked everywhere.
Okay.
Search high and low. On the last episode of Kanan, number 78, we have I See Spidey again. He's Facebook Pro. He says, Jen hit the nail on the head. This issue made me smad. Sad plus mad equals smad. Oof.
I got a lot of feedback on that.
Yeah.
Why? Like two people?
No, people did backflips over Jenny.
Who?
On Twitter, we got a ton of
Oh,
feedback.
okay. Well, then we'll get to it.
Yes, we will. All right, here we go. I posted.
That sounds like a word you'd make up.
Yeah, it does. I see Spidey and I represent. So I posted on the Facebook wall the funniest picture that has ever occurred, ever on the internet. Posted Josh the Tosh Mason, internet famous, walking arm in arm with the internet while he wears a tuxedo and she wears a bridesmaid dress, and it's hilarious. Oh. So if you haven't checked it out, you should get onto the Facebook page and like it. Quite a few people have been reached by this post.
And that is a regulation size fire extinguisher, if anyone's trying to understand scale.
Okay. So first up, we have I See Spidey again. He said, why do you think Palpatine's face turned all deformed when revealed he was the Emperor? He asked a bunch of questions, so we'll stop
You
one by
just
one.
skipped over Joel Shepman.
I'm just doing them in reverse order, so I don't forget them,
Oh.
because I've been moving backward through the feed.
Well, we know why his face is all deformed. Because he shocked himself with his force lightning, reflected off of Mace Windu's lightsaber.
Yeah, and it warps.
Yeah, warped his face.
But it was not... I guess it wasn't deformed at all before that, was it? He just had the yellow eyes.
Yeah.
So that's a very simple answer. Do you remember that, Jenny?
Yep,
You do?
Have
Yeah.
you ever seen Revenge of the Sith?
I have. I used to watch it every night before bed when I was a kid.
Oh my gosh.
I used a VHS tape.
Why are you telling lies live on the internet?
Wait, why are you asking me a question you already know the answer to?
I don't know. I don't
No,
know.
I didn't know
actually-
if you knew that.
Yeah, I have seen that part where he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I've seen that part. Yeah.
That's an
I
accurate
really have seen that
representation.
part. And not
Yeah.
when I was a kid, when I was a grown up.
He also says, do you think Mace Windu is dead? No, I don't.
Was that the Samuel L. Jackson
Yeah.
one?
Yes.
There was an interview on somewhere.
He like never
Yeah.
ages, so he could be in like
Yeah.
another million movies. They can do like him from the past, him in the future. He's like perpetually the same looking.
Yeah, he really
Age.
has. If you look at like it was like used cars or car salesman or something like that. It was this old 80s movie.
It looks the same as.
Yeah, he
today.
looks exactly the same. And it was like one of his first movies.
So there was this interview, and somebody asked him about Mace Windu, and he says that he convinced George Lucas that Mace Windu survived, and that he's off doing other things in the galaxy.
So
Samuel L. Jackson convinced him of that?
Yeah.
he had to have been injured, but George Lucas isn't the one he needs to convince.
Well, this was before Disney acquired,
Oh.
It was before
but there's
the
a lot of
Disney
holdouts.
acquisition.
You know, the Lucasfilm people didn't change that much, so there's a hope that Mace Windu's still out there.
I think he is. And I think he may show up. You never know.
You never know.
What if he showed up and was part of Luke's new Jedi Order.
I
And he
think that
was-
would be very not believable.
Why?
Because the time from Revenge of the Sith to the end of Return of the Jedi is like 20 years, 25 years.
So
I put him at about 40.
you think he can't live?
I think that-
he's a man of the Force.
I think it's probably some side story like Kanan that slipped through the cracks.
Whatever.
Like maybe he's a beet farmer somewhere and he like has to fend off some locals.
like Dwight Schrute.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of The Office, catching up, and there's so many moments that remind me of you. It's like he's too stupid to be like you, but his like adamant defense of the things he believes in really reminds me of you.
No? Okay.
Oh man, gosh, it's so funny. All right, he says, "Do you guys hate Mace Windu as much as I do?" No, I don't
I've
think
never
so.
really liked him.
Really?
Why didn't you like him?
Yeah.
Let's
He
see if
doesn't
you
add anything to. I just know him from the movies, and he's just always kind of like blah 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 blah. Like no emotion, like
Anger.
You don't care. Like he has no. You don't see anything about his personality. He's just always like barking orders or like.
Icy Spidey said he's always in a bad mood and he's totally rude to Obi-Wan all the time.
And-
Obi-Wan's my favorite, so if I saw that, I'd be mad too.
I agree that he is pretty surly all the time, but I still like him a lot.
He's just no nonsense.
Yeah, he is. He's very direct, and I'm really attracted to direct people. People that are no nonsense. They don't take no guff from no one, and they have purple lightsabers.
And he had a really sweet episode in the old Clone Wars cartoon.
Oh,
You should go if anyone hasn't seen it. I thought it was on Netflix, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The old Clone Wars
it
cartoon?
was, but it's not. I have it
Oh,
on.
you mean not the one that's
The
in?
Jendi Tartakovsky one.
Yeah, I have it on DVD downstairs. I put it in the other
The
day.
Mace Windu episode is sweet.
It's the whole series is sweet.
Right.
That episode with Yoda at the beginning, like
Yeah.
the first episode.
This isn't canon though, right?
No, but when they're like chasing Yoda,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that's some of the best Star Wars action I've ever seen. Okay, so next up, oh no, he says, "What is your favorite lightsaber hilt?" Gosh, I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite.
I do.
I have noticed Icy Spidey is super into lightsaber hilts. Have you guys
He's the one that got really mad about the differences.
in Scotty's
Yes.
variant cover? Yeah.
My
Yeah.
favorite was the fake one that was on Scotty's cover that he just made up. That wasn't real.
He didn't make it up. Lucasfilm told him exactly what to draw. They literally like sent him. He
had-
actually made him
right.
change it.
Right. A
To a
correction.
different-
I know it was a joke.
Oh my
Funny
gosh.
joke.
No,
Do you guys have favorite lightsaber hilts?
Yes.
I don't know what any of them look like. Aren't they all like silvery?
Yeah,
Some
silver
are
They
and
different.
maybe some of
blacky.
them have buttons.
Some of them might have more goldish.
have, like, a
Some of
hook.
them have more
They
black.
have like a little thing you can hook on your belt.
Who's is it? Luke's the one with the like little things on the pommel, like on the very bottom.
The very bottom.
Yeah,
Like the little
I wish I had
nubs.
my lightsabers. Yeah, like little nubs.
That's Obi-Wan's.
All right, Obi-Wan's is my favorite then.
You know.
I think I don't know anything about them, but I think the one didn't Darth Maul have a really
He had the
unique
two-sided
one?
two-bladed
Yeah,
one.
I like that one.
It is pretty good.
I like Darth Vader's.
I don't know the difference between most of them.
I'll show you Darth Vader's while we're waiting.
It's in Force Awakens.
No,
yeah,
that's Anakin's.
Oh, right. Sorry. Joel Shetman, you saved me from flaming on the internet. Thanks, Josh. Joel on Facebook, he says, "When are you announcing which Nerd Squadron patch 1?"
right now.
Right now. Jen, why don't you announce
Option B, the good one.
which? Oh my gosh,
The
they
good
were
one.
both amazing. Well, which
No, they
one
were
was
both
it?
really good.
The color scheme would
The
that
one that was more white.
I
and
don't
blue.
know.
The blue and white one.
No,
It was more white than
Show-
anything.
Yeah, the other one was gold and white.
No, the
can
other
you
one
show
was
me a
gold and
picture
blue.
of it? Show me the
Yes.
pictures.
Yes.
And I'll do. Does he say one's like option A and one's option
Yeah,
B?
option B.
Yeah.
One's blue. Oh, you're right. It was gold and blue.
Gee, Chris,
because
one's
I
blue
didn't
and
want
red
you to
and gray.
keep talking about it because you're gonna make him think it's the other one. It's the one that's like blue and orange, and it's got.
Orange.
This is orange.
That's red.
That's red, sister.
Oh, it looks orange to me. Blue and
it's
red.
definitely red.
It's got like a gray background.
Hey, everybody. It's the one that almost looks white.
It's
Everyone will say, oh, it's B.
option B.
It's the white one.
Right. And it has our names in it.
In Orabesh.
Yes. It's amazing. And Jesus made it for us. Thank you, Jesus. I'm a huge fan of that logo. He's got some other
We should get
design
some
ideas and things
shirts.
for
we
us.
should get some shirts like Michael's shirts made with that on it.
Yeah, we're going to get shirts made someday.
Michael's shirts.
If we make enough money. I still want to make a Patreon. I need to just do
That's
it.
Darth Vader's hilt.
When we make a Patreon, we're going to do it.
It's got
And
a
then
little-
we'll
little
have enough money.
Yeah.
We'll order
click
t-shirts
a
for
belt hook.
people that go over a certain level after like 2 months. And then they can cut it back or whatever. Just to help pay for it. And it'll be amazing. I'm into it.
You do whatever you want to do.
I will.
You know my stance.
Do you? Do I know your stance?
Yeah, he told you not to do it, and you're ignoring him. Your stance is ignoring what he says.
Right.
Oh. Well, I really would like a Patreon. It'd be awesome.
Well, then do it. That's what I just said.
Okay. So that's the one that won. Congratulations to anyone that voted for B because you won.
It was kind of 50-50. It was pretty close.
It was. I liked A lot. I actually really liked them both. I kind of was leaning a little more toward A with some modifications, but B ultimately was voted 2-1 by the shareholders of Star Wars Nerds Unite. So I lost.
You did lose.
So that I really would like someday to become a badge, like an actual patch that we can put on our bags
Yeah.
and our jackets. And whenever I get Jenny a new coat, I'll make sure
On my
the
North Face
Nerd
winter
Squadron-
coat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll make sure the Nerd Squadron patch is over the North Face logo.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
They'd be like, "Oh, did you get that from the Nerd Squadron store?" And you'd be like, "Yeah, nerdsquadron.com."
You could say I flew 6 sorties to earn my patch.
I don't know what that is, but
Joel Shepman can tell you what a
peop-
sortie is.
people will muster to the store.
Poor usage.
Yeah. It'd be like people will muster out of their old jackets.
That's poor usage.
He says,
What?
"Are you going to Grand Rapids Comic Con?"
Maybe.
I can't answer that definitively, but yes.
What date is it on again?
It depends on the date. It's in November, right?
Hold on, I can look it up.
A couple years ago, it was on my daughter's birthday.
Oh, good
And
Those
lord.
idiots.
Tim made the decision to go, and I made the decision to stay.
Yeah, I still am living that one down. It's October 21st through the 23rd.
Oh, it's a month earlier.
Yeah.
I heard you.
That might be nicer.
Oh my gosh, Julian Glover, Davos himself, also the guy that piloted General Veers. He's gonna be there.
Sir Davos is going to be there?
No,
The Onion Knight?
Sorry, not Davos. The what's the other guy? The hold on.
I got really excited.
Yeah. Davos is Liam Cunningham.
Julian Glover. What's this guy? Maester what? Lewin?
I
Maester
have no
Oh,
idea.
yeah. Maester Lewin.
Which one is it? Maester
Yeah.
what from Game of Thrones?
He's Lewin.
I don't know who Julian Glover is, and I didn't look when you told me.
He's the.
More importantly, he's General Veers from Star Wars, and he's going to be there. And if we go to Grand Rapids, it sounded almost
He
like
was in
Joel
Star
Shetman
Wars?
was going to
He's
be there.
Maester Pycelle is
Oh,
who
yeah,
he is.
Pycelle.
Yeah.
He's the one that just got killed.
Spoiler alert.
Jeez.
Game of Thrones
Oh
spoiler
my
alert.
gosh. Way to go. You were the worst at spoiling Game of Thrones. She is seriously
I
the worst.
spoil it for everyone.
Oh my gosh. What
It's
would
been
tell-
out for weeks now.
That
If you're
doesn't matter with
listening to
Game
a
of Thrones.
podcast, there's no way you haven't heard.
Why don't you tell the story about how you ruined Game of Thrones?
This is heavy spoilers, I
Okay.
assume.
All right. No.
Oh, no, don't
This
tell
is
the story.
past.
Never
no,
mind.
I want to tell
It doesn't matter.
Everybody's going to be like, I wish Jen would have told the story now.
You know what? I want, we'll do this on another episode.
No, we won't. It's now or never.
Fine. Spoil the whole Game of Thrones series.
This
You
is
can say,
old.
you can say
Tell your
Red
funny
Wedding.
story.
You can tell Red,
Tell your
you can
funny
say Red
story.
Wedding.
Just tell the
Go
funny
ahead.
story.
It's not that funny. So I haven't been watching the show. We'd been reading all the books. And so we were way past the Red Wedding. I can't remember how far we were, but I just happened to go to my parents' house, and everybody in my family is super into Game of Thrones. My brother, my dad, my brother's friends were over. They were watching it, and I came in, and like I walked in, and they like had to pause it, and they were like, "What's up?" And I was like, "Oh, you're watching Game of Thrones," and then when you read the books, the show is not in order. Like there's like sometimes the show goes way faster than the book and it's just like out of order. And so
Well, it's more that the books are out of order because of how
whatever.
he tells the story. But
I thought that I started to say something about something that had happened in the book a long, long time ago.
But hasn't been on the show.
But hadn't been on the show. And this is what it was about. Like the Red Wedding I had just listened to the Red Wedding and they all knew about the Red Wedding. So I knew I wasn't spoiling that. And I was like, oh, I was so mad about the Red Wedding and blah, 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 blah. I can't believe that happened. And then I was like, I was so happy when Joffrey died at his wedding. And they were literally on Joffrey's wedding episode. They had paused it literally.
In the middle of the wedding.
Like it would have happened in like 2 more minutes. And I was like,
you didn't spoil
I can't believe he died. I mean, they were like, their minds were blown. Like my brother's like 18 at the time, and his friend almost like cussed me out. And I never even met him before. He was like so distraught. They were really upset with me. And they were like, I was like, I thought that happened a long time ago. And they're like, we're watching the wedding right now, like literally right now. I was like, I'm sorry. And then I ended up spoiling something else.
Yeah, I know. I was just going to say, didn't you further? You were like, oh, I thought you would have seen this thing.
Well, I was like, do you want to know who kills him? And then like, my dad wanted to know. So I was like whispering something back and forth to my dad. And he was like, whispered back to me, was it Marjorie? And then I said out loud without thinking, no, it was her grandma. And then everybody's like, oh my God, it was bad. I had to just like, I hurried up and left the house really fast.
Before
after that.
she was
They
murdered.
were going to kill me.
She's done it before though. She's done it after.
You're a
I've done it many
habitual
times.
And then
spoiler
she
of
just
things.
did it live on the podcast.
Just
Oh,
a
man.
random. Let's just drop in something that happens in the last episode that's ever aired.
There are
of the
literally 2 things on the planet that you don't talk about because you don't want to spoil it, and that's The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones.
show. I would be more
I
than
don't think
happy to
I've-
spoil The Walking Dead.
I don't think I've ever
well,
spoiled
the
anything
comic
on The
is
Walking
really what I'm
Dead.
talking about.
Now that we're having this long Game of Thrones discussion, I want you to tell everybody about how good I was at figuring out about Jon Snow.
First book you called it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really
Yeah.
fast. And he was like, you were like,
Had you
"What?"
watched
I was like,
We
I don't
hadn't
even know
watched
what
anything.
characters you're talking about. No, we hadn't watched
We hadn't
any-
not
watched
any of
any of the
season
show.
1?
It wasn't, no. We were just in the middle of the first book, and it just like came to me like out of nowhere. I was like, oh my God, he's not really Ned's son.
Okay.
He's his uncle.
Okay. Thanks. Ken, she continues. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Everybody knows now.
No, they don't.
There are still people who have watched
You need
this
to put-
season and still have not put it together.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, then you need to put in the synopsis of this.
All the Game of
If
Thrones
you're not
spoilers I
caught
can
up
think
on
of.
Game of Thrones, and if you can't put 2 and 2 together,
Don't listen.
don't listen.
So going back to Joel Shepman,
Yeah.
he says he wanted to know if you're going to Grand Rapids, and that makes me think he's going to go to Grand Rapids. So I want to know
Well,
if
why would he ask that if he's not going to be there?
maybe he's just curious in general. I want to know if Joel's going to be at Grand Rapids, because if he is, we should go. And there's a ton of breweries and bars and food.
Yeah, that'll be
Josh?
fun.
It would be
I've
fun.
been to Grand Rapids.
We should,
Yeah, we were
need to
there.
figure
I know.
out-
Yeah, we went to a cool place, right?
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah.
We need to have a Star Wars Nerds Unite event.
Yeah.
But we need to figure out where would be the place that is the best
That's never going to happen.
center for
Yeah,
people
there
to
is
flock
no
to.
center. I mean, we have listeners in
The bright center of the universe
Everywhere.
is Washington, Illinois.
Yeah. I honestly, if we do go
Maybe
to Grand
Chicago.
Rapids,
Chicago.
No.
People would go
no,
there just
we,
to go
we
there.
have more
though.
listeners in California than we do Chicago. If we were to go,
But you can get on a flight to Chicago easily.
nobody's gonna fly. Who's gonna fly? if we're going to Grand Rapids, we need to announce it soon. We'll figure it out, and then we'll call an unofficial Star Wars Nerds Unite meetup.
Why would
Anybody
it be
wants to come can
unofficial?
come.
Yeah,
it would be official.
Is Jeremiah
It'd
going
be
to Grand
100%
Rapids?
official. Yeah. Jeremiah will be at Grand Rapids. So he'll be there. And then Jared Gafford, friend of the show, he'd be there. So we'd have at least 2 extra people. And I know...
Does Jared listen?
I don't think he listens to this podcast, no. Anyway.
Sad face.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Is what Joel would
3.
like to know. Wasn't that answered in like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy or something?
No.
No, but I have another story talking about chucking wood. Did you know that squirrels eat the wood off of people's porches?
Okay.
Okay, I drove up to my parents' house again the other day. Tim was with me. There was a squirrel sitting on their front porch, gnawing, like, I thought he had
You
rabies.
sure he wasn't gnawing on a nut?
No.
Just using
No.
the porch
He was
as...
scraping the wood off of the step, and you could
Maybe
see.
there's-
It wasn't even the step. It was the rise.
You could see he was like, "Arr, arr, arr." You could see the spots that he had already done because the paint was off and it was raw wood. And I
Maybe it's got
called
lead
my
paint.
dad.
He's
I
just
was
like,
no, it's brand new
got the
paint. My
crazy
dad
eyes.
has to repaint the porch every 2 months because the squirrels are always eating it. I was like, call my dad, and I'm like, what?
what are you
is with
doing?
these
Oh,
squirrels?
just paint the porch.
He paints the porch all the time. But I was like, why?
That's
I
because
was
the
like,
wood is like 100,000 years old.
I
on
just
this
saw
porch.
the weirdest thing in my life. A squirrel was eating your porch. She's like, yeah, they're doing that all the time. They're really wearing it down.
Better go paint her tonight.
He's like, they're just wearing the wood down so bad. I was like, why would they do that?
Well, he's got those big oak trees and stuff in front of his yard. Or those big walnut
They're just
trees.
honing their talons.
He said it's either they're sharpening their teeth or they need the fiber.
I want to know. I want to
I
hear it
was
from
like-
the Star Wars Nerds Unite fans. I want to know why that squirrel...
Why do squirrels eat wood?
But they live in trees. Why do they need to go and eat the wood off someone's porch?
I don't know.
Here's a way to keep squirrels from chewing on your wood deck.
Oh, look at that. A Google search away.
Wow. Isn't
Google
that
knew.
crazy though? I've never in my life seen that.
I had never seen it. But
Squirrels chew on such things to clean, sharpen, and maintain their teeth, much like other rodents.
Bizarre.
There we have it. I didn't even get a chance to have the listeners come in and tell us all about it. Blew my chance. All right.
So squirrels, how many wood porches can a squirrel
chew down.
destroy in the summer? That's the
Well-
question.
That's
0.
a crazy question.
0.00001.
That's probably the first time that question has ever been asked in the history of the world.
Does Josh Mason still look so awesome? That's what Jeff Uppole says. He's talking about the photograph of Josh arm in arm with the internet. The funniest picture on the internet, perhaps. Does he look so awesome? Let me see. No.
More awesome.
Also, when are we playing board games after work? He wants to know.
Well, so we can't go to Gen Con this year.
He says, I'll take my answer off air.
Well, I'm going to give it on the air. I'm going to explain the question on the air. We can't go to Gen Con this year. So my plan is to host a Gen Con here where all of us take off work early and we get a conference room and we play board games.
A conference room.
Yeah.
Why do you need a conference room?
So that we're not at somebody's house because we all have kids and kids would be home. And the whole point is to go away and play board games, not deal with family.
Oh.
Aren't you doing that tomorrow?
We were going to try and do it tomorrow, but there's too many conflicts.
Oh. I was like, man, that's short notice.
Because Gen Con is, I believe, this weekend.
Where's
We-
Gen Con?
Indy.
We talked about how John Best posted about Jedi influence on the Brexit vote, right?
Yeah.
All right. So he posts something later, and we'll talk about it. But I thought we read Andrea Hellman's feedback on the Eclipse Fighter as well.
We did.
Okay. All right. So we're on Tim Miller, first time poster. He says, watch 64 floppy drives and other hardware play the Star Wars theme. He posted a link. That's on the Facebook feed. Thanks, Tim, for posting that.
It's really good.
It's fantastic. Icy Spidey on July 15 said, I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty excited for the live streams coming out of Star Wars Celebration 2016. Nolan was in England. Our son was in England. Did we talk about this?
Yeah, we already talked about it.
Okay.
He saw somebody dressed up in Star Wars gear walking
That'd
to
have been
the event. Yeah.
Why didn't Nolan go?
The tickets were expensive, and he was with a group of people,
Yeah, I know.
and he wasn't in charge of what
How
they
come
did.
we didn't go? Why do we not get invited? I would think that we would get cordially
We'd
invited.
have a panel.
Yeah,
Yeah, we should.
I would think we would. Any listeners out there, why don't you work on that for us?
Yeah. There's as you know, Disney acquiring Lucasfilm. They're building a new park down in Disney World.
Yeah.
But in the last, I don't know, 6 months, they've started to have people dressed up as First Order stormtroopers patrol all of Disney World. And so, like, when they find people that are dressed up as... There's a video on Reddit today where this little kid, who's maybe 8, is dressed up as Kylo Ren. And a pair of the stormtroopers see him. And so they come up to him and they start escorting him around the park and playing, acting like he's Kylo Ren. And it's really funny.
That's
At Disney
amazing.
World.
I am so stoked. Like,
Because you guys go like every other year, right?
it feels
I've
like
gone once in my life.
I used to go a long time ago, but when I was in like school, and
Yeah.
then I went in my later adult life, and now in my current adult life, I've been once. But if that Star Wars park is
Your
there,
current adult life?
I will sell my
His current
house.
adult life.
You've gone many, many times as an adult.
That's what I remember too.
He's gone with he's taken his kids there, 3 times before we met?
Yeah,
And then once with me.
yeah.
That's 4 times in your current
Yeah.
adult life.
Current
So
adult life.
you and I should go. We should ditch the kids.
Well, the Star Wars park won't be open until next year.
Yeah,
So you gotta
we'll
wait.
ditch the kids. We'll go in a few years.
If you dress up as Rey, the stormtroopers will harass you.
That's amazing.
Harass
you should dress
you.
up as Ray.
Yeah, they're stormtroopers.
You'd make a pretty good Ray. You're a little short, but
You're a little short for a stormtrooper.
for a Ray.
All right.
It would be fun, yeah. I would definitely want to go. The pictures looked really awesome.
Yeah, it does look super cool.
So we definitely talked about
Here are some images of
Yeah, thanks, Siri.
I didn't do it.
You did it. We talked about the panels in a previous recording and such and
Did we?
whatnot. Yeah, we did.
Well, I see Spidey posted, he said Ahsoka Untold Tales panel was amazing.
Yeah, we specifically talked about it in the
Oh, yeah,
podcast.
we talked about the clone trooper painted with Ahsoka's markings and giant wolves protecting
Yeah.
Ahsoka. Man, oh man, I wish they would have made those episodes. Maybe we will see an Ahsoka comic from Marvel. That would be so cool. Yes, it would. Ahsoka's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, she's good.
She's amazing. I like her. She reminds me of my wife, kind of. I made that up. John Best. Oh, he sent this to letters also. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
he
talk.
did.
I'm not gonna read it.
We'll
on
read
here.
it in letters. So that's it for Facebook.
All right. Thank God. All right. So we're Twitter. Bob Camp is going to be at Grand Rapids Comic Con.
I don't know who that
Who's
is.
that?
Ren and Stimpy. Come on, guys.
Okay.
Come on, guys. All right. Okay. Starting in July. Oh man, it moved. All right, here we go. At Lady Meg, at a Star Wars podcast panel. This is what I do now. What have you done to me at Star Wars in you? Hashtag Nerd Squadron. Hashtag But I'm a Trekkie.
Where was she at?
I think she was at Gen Con.
Oh.
And then she says, I got a round of applause from a live audience for that tweet. You might need to step up your game. So I didn't understand what that meant. If she was talking to at Star Wars bounty hunters.
I think
Or
she was
she's talking
talking
to
to
us.
you and us. That
But-
she's more popular than us.
But who's Star Wars bounty hunters? Oh, it's
The
another
panel.
podcast she listens to. From Omaha. Oh, man. Okay.
Oh, it's another Star Wars podcast?
Yeah, she listens to another Star Wars podcast. Yeah, she's in Nerd Squadron.
Oh.
Okay, that's fine. That's how she wants to handle it. What have we done to her? I don't know. Encouraged her to like things that are awesome. would be
What
my
date are you
answer.
starting on?
July 9th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all the way back. I
Because you skipped a whole bunch.
didn't.
Yeah, you did.
I have notifications.
I'm just telling you, you skipped a whole bunch.
Well, then read them.
Like Lady Meg said, because we skipped Twitter a bunch. We only did.
No.
Yeah, we did.
No.
When did we talk about SWTOR?
What?
Exactly. Rob Findesine. I can't remember. RC
Rob.
Finn.
RC Finn.
Just curious who plays SWTOR and what type of characters you play.
I don't have time for video games, really. I play
that
Simpsons
came out-
Tapped Out
That came out
and
3 years
Pokemon
ago.
Go. Pokemon Go. And that's all.
SWTOR came out 3 years ago.
You play some games on the computer sometimes.
I play
Sims.
SimCity.
We played Warcraft
Sims.
3
No,
a
I
few
don't play
weeks ago.
Sims. I play SimCity.
Yeah, you were playing
And yeah,
with
we
other
played
your
Warcraft
friends.
3 the other day. I was terrible.
Yeah. I played SWTOR when it came out for about 3 months, and I played a smuggler who was a healer.
I miss Galaxies. I think if Galaxies was still happening, I would have given back into it. I mean, somewhat. I would have a presence just so that I could live there.
Yeah.
I would just check into my house and I'd just sit down in my house with my collector's edition visor on, and I'd just hang out. That's what I do.
Joel responded, I never got to play SWTOR, but I did rock KOTOR 1 and 2 when I was on deployment. And then Rob responded, never got a chance to play that one. Heard it's a great game, though. He got to play Madden a lot when he was on deployments. And Joel responded, yeah, played that in Halo. See, you missed the whole conversation.
I guess it's not on here.
And then Reggie, Django 2 cents, I think, maybe Django 2C.
Oh yeah, isn't he new? Didn't
Yeah.
he just start?
I'm pretty sure Reggie is the guy that had the Mandalorian arbor at Star Wars Reads Day that we talked to.
Oh, really?
I think maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's awesome.
Let me know, Reggie. Stumbled across the podcast. Awesome job on catching up on all the episodes now. Makes work a lot more fun.
Good.
Glad you like the work.
You posted about the aforementioned television cup, the cup that Jenny bought you for your birthday.
The
Tervis.
Yeah.
Do you ever use it?
No, it sits on my desk.
Oh, so you don't
We already
drink
had
out
the
of it?
conversation that I use an Nalgene.
Oh, right. But we didn't talk about how you don't use this cup.
It sits on my desk.
After
It sits on your desk as like decor.
Yeah.
Okay.
so it was Coxtimus, right? That had the handle for
It's
his
in the
Tervis.
letters. It's in the letters.
Is it?
Yeah,
Fine,
he
we'll
had a
talk about it
picture of
later.
his that was.
We'll talk about it later.
Cannon block rolls on
Yeah.
despite the rainstorm.
At Adam Strange says, "Lol, I must say I was blushing around 240 of episode 76. Hashtag what the heck?" Because Josh was crumpling his comic book live on the air, broke all the hearts and the minds on the internet, destroyed. Why would you? Never mind. We don't have to go into this again because you'll just vehemently defend your idea that it's disposable.
It's just a book. It
It's
can
not
be read. It can
just
be
a
folded.
book. You're supposed to collect them, bag and board them, stick them in boxes.
You're presuming that they have value outside of their intrinsic value.
There is value in pulling them out of your long box and pulling them out of that bag and board and having them be taught.
I don't see any value in
When
them
you
being
when you
taught.
touch it, it brings you joy.
It brings you joy.
It does bring me joy. It brings me a lot of joy. Jenny is falling asleep on the podcast. Are you bored? Why are you bored? If you're bored, the listeners are bored. We blew it.
Maybe we should move on.
We're moving.
I'm just kidding. I'm sick. I've been taking cold medicine. I'm tired. Sorry.
Lady Meg drove through Iowa City.
She
And
did.
She and Icy Spidey had a conversation about how they should meet, but they didn't.
It's neat how Joel Shetman and RC Finn are talking back and forth, and Lady Meg and Icy Spidey are talking back and forth.
Yeah,
we really have
brought
made
people
the
together.
Star Wars nerds
Unite.
from all over
Yeah. Yeah.
the galaxy.
Wow, good one.
Nice.
You pulled that together.
Georgie BMX word out of Celebration is that Ahsoka will make an appearance in season 3. Question: is she alive or Force Ghost? So I think we addressed this in a previous episode, but I don't think she's going to be in Rebels season 3.
Where are you seeing these tweets?
Yeah, how does
Twitter are
he
they
find?
On the
He
Twitter.
found some black hole inside Twitter that has all of your last tweets.
I guess. Joel, Muster Guy, says, after watching that trailer, you're going to have to do a review after each episode. That was Wizard. What? I never heard that before. That was Wizard?
You've never heard that before?
No.
I haven't either.
Anakin says it in episode 1.
He does?
Yeah.
It must not
His
have caught on.
little Indian friend says, "That's Wizard, Annie." It's a thing.
Oh, well, then I never knew what he was saying. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. I'm getting schooled on Star Wars yet again. What say you, hashtag Nerd Squadron? And then Jenny got on Twitter because she was watching me build a pergola and she was sitting in a lounge chair complaining that I would ask her occasionally to grab me something.
I got so beat up when I was helping you that day. I still have bruises all over my body.
You did one thing and she picked up like a board and she literally cut herself 4 times in
and
a 30-second
got
span.
bruises all over me.
I couldn't believe it. It's
I
like
still
I'm climbing
have,
up and down
I'm covered in
ladders.
bruises still.
Anyway, she got on Twitter and she had a conversation. And they talked about the new Rebels trailer that
Oh my
dropped for
god,
season
that was
3.
amazing.
Did we talk about that already?
We did briefly, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
we
that
did.
it was
Because we weren't
exciting.
going to do a whole episode, but it was really exciting. And
And Jen said she didn't know who Thrawn was.
Yeah, I don't.
And
And I could tell it was a big deal.
he's only a big deal because the beginning of the expanded universe was the Heir to the Empire trilogy that Timothy Zahn wrote, and he was the main character. And so he is.
So people
they're good
that
books,
really liked him.
but people deified him.
yes, they
because-
did. Because it was the first.
Right,
They were the first Star Wars books.
and he's a cool character.
He is a cool character, but people went,
I remember
Bananas.
when we did the Peoria Comic Con, not this summer, but the summer before when we had the panel and people were talking. It was like the movie hadn't come out yet.
Yeah,
And some people were like really mixed feelings about the Disney acquisition because of what was not in canon, and they were so upset because they had such strong emotional
Yeah.
ties with some of the old books and stories.
like Thrawn and Mara Jade.
Yeah, so they were just like destroyed, but we were like, you never know, they can bring it in. And this is exactly that
It's true.
happening.
It's true. At Lady Meg says, hashtag letters for Josh. Yeah, we can make that happen. Mwahaha. But I don't think she sent a letter in, did she?
yeah, she did.
Did she?
Yep.
Okay, well, we have lots of letters. Maybe I missed those like the rest of my tweets.
Probably.
Combine your feedback episodes with news from Star Wars Celebration Europe so I don't have to read all these news articles. We didn't.
She probably already did
We
that,
talked
though.
about all the big stuff that came out of
Yeah, we did.
Celebration here.
Yeah. Georgie BMX says, how amazing does the season 3 trailer of Rebels look? Bearded Kanan, Ezra with a green lightsaber. Where did that come from? Well, his lightsaber got wrecked.
Jen commented on the beard as well.
On
Yeah,
Joel's.
She was super into it.
I was like, when
Love
Joel
the beard.
first talked about the new trailer, that was the first thing I said was, oh my god, that beard. And then,
Jesus.
and Ezra looks so grown up. Yeah.
He looks a lot like his dad, which is utterly unsurprising.
At Joel Shepman on the Twitter says about the last episode. He retweeted it for us. Thank you, Joel. That means a lot to us when you retweet it. Truly.
You skipped a bunch more.
I didn't, but okay. Says, hashtag Kanan Block comes to a close. We need to hashtag muster to hear what is coming up next. I agree. Good usage. At Lady Meg commented on the same episode, says, since I usually listen while driving, a video podcast would make me sad. Or possibly dead.
So you skipped, there was a whole conversation at Retro Rewind podcast. Sent a question. He retweeted something that somebody had said. Since Star Wars is set a long ago in a galaxy far, far away, does that technically make it a period piece? And he asked for our thoughts. And we never responded.
Did we?
But lots of listeners responded.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
I don't.
Joel said, well, since Where would he go? It wasn't Joel. Any movie is a period piece, just set in a different time period or periods.
Yeah, that's true. Joel said that?
No, Paul Powers.
Oh.
Paul J. Powers. And then it's kind of the way Twitter does this stuff is so disjointed. But so there was a whole conversation about that.
At Chaz Rosas 721 says, I'm so glad that I discovered your podcast on Spotify a couple months ago. Keep doing what you guys are doing. Hashtag Ahsoka lives. She does live.
She might live until she walks into the River Styx.
Hey, I never talked
Of
about
course.
this.
She's still
After you said that she kind of goes into like the hell dimension or whatever.
Well, that's
you think.
the corollary that he's drawing.
I realized I was thinking about that later, and she reminds me a lot of Buffy. And Buffy goes to hell and comes out. So if it's possible,
So Ahsoka's coming
she
back.
might come back
Maybe she'll just be in the movie.
after she kills some demons. Yeah.
What if she shows up in a movie? Who would do a backflip?
I don't think she will.
I would have my
She'd have
daughter
to be
teach me how to do a
really old,
backflip.
wouldn't
Yeah.
she?
Maybe they do another cartoon movie. I don't know.
I would take a real movie. Why wouldn't they put her in? She's popular.
She's not popular
She's
enough,
popular to me.
and I don't think they're gonna.
She's not mainstream.
I'm not gonna say never, but they're not gonna waste the side stories on Ahsoka. They're not. Are you kidding me? Would you rather have a Boba Fett side story or an Ahsoka side story? Which one do you think would make them more money?
Oh, Boba Fett would make more money, but I'd rather see an Ahsoka story.
Right, but they're not going to do what makes Tim Van Ottref happy. They're going to make,
At Tim Van Ottref on Twitter.
they're going to make what makes the shareholders happy.
RCFin32 says on the last episode, he says, loved how Jen blasted this comic. Had to step away from my grinder. I was laughing so hard. Would love a video option as well. That was some of the positive feedback for Jenny on her synopsis / destruction of Kanan number 12. RC Finn video is coming. We tested tonight some various angles with Josh's GoPro. We may end up having to do something different just so that it syncs with the audio all the way. Because if we just do a Google Hangout and plug it into the computer and record with a webcam or something, it would work better.
But we'd have to find a webcam.
I have like 10 webcams.
I don't have any.
Okay.
I don't know why a human being would own a
'Cause
webcam.
it's archival. I keep them for the computer museum I'm building for my basement.
Okay.
So video is coming. Jenny wouldn't do it tonight officially because she hates video. Why do you not want to do video?
I'm sick.
She's sick.
And
You can see the sickness in her. She's just
And she didn't want to offend anyone.
and she's looking for new suitors. So when you put all that together, we
I
can't.
didn't
we
want to
can't
turn
take
anybody
video.
off of our podcast by looking like
Man, look
garbage.
at that sick girl.
I think you look amazing.
Thanks.
You've never looked better.
Well, you always build me up. You're like, oh, my beautiful wife.
I stopped doing that because you asked me not to.
Yeah, I know, but you still built me up for a long time. And so if I come on here looking like this, they're going to
Then
be
they
like,
would be
they're
like,
never
wow,
going to trust anything
That
you
chick
say.
is beautiful.
No, they're never going to trust anything you say again, and our credibility is shot.
At Django2C says, really enjoying the podcast. Took your advice and started the Kanan series. Not disappointed at all. Waiting for the next one.
Uh-oh. You will be disappointed when you come to the end. Sorry.
Of Kanan, but he's saying waiting for the next one of us, of our podcast. And here it is. You're welcome. Yep. At Georgie BMX. Hey guys, hashtag Kanan Block was awesome. I'm really enjoying the shorter, more frequent episode. Makes my daily commute so much better. I agree. At Joel Shepman says, thank you for putting on an awesome show for us to listen to and enjoy. Hashtag Nerd Squadron appreciates all your hard work and time. Thank you. That means a lot.
That was in response to my 75th anniversary post.
Yeah, you posted that we had 75,000 downloads. I preferred to leave a mystery where we had like 1 million.
We don't have
downloads.
1 million downloads.
No mystery anymore.
It doesn't count Spotify. Spotify has a lot of downloads.
Whatever.
It could add up to 1 million if you count Spotify.
It could.
Maybe.
probably does. It's close.
Could you just imagine if we counted all of the alien races that download it through the SporkNet?
I don't think my mind can imagine that number.
It might be trillions of downloads.
It's beyond my understanding.
At Georgie B. Mex says, did you guys catch much from Comic-Con? And what was your favorite thing from the show?
There was no Star Wars stuff at Comic-Con other than they had some costumes that were already at Celebration other than one alien character. They focused all their energy on the Celebration, which was the previous weekend.
Yeah, and I really didn't pay attention to Comic-Con. I have not had any time because I've been building things and working out in the yard, and my wife is rolling her eyes right now.
I'm just wondering how many times you've told everybody that you built a pergola.
I did build a pergola. It's pretty great. I'm working on a patio right now. I've been busy at work, weather prohibitive. My fence blew over. I'm going to put that back together.
I told Jen it's
He
nice
likes it.
having the fence not
He
there.
likes it.
Because I can just walk straight in the back door.
What if we put up a gate? We could replace one of those panels with a gate.
No, you don't. You do not want to do that.
I've wanted it before because I want my wheelbarrow to go through there. It would have saved me so much time when I moved all that dirt to the side of the house. Because I used a wheelbarrow and walked
Yeah, but it's
around
right
like
behind the
100.
trees. It would be a really bad spot for a
It'd
gate.
be a great spot for a gate.
All right, whatever.
Yeah, all right.
No big Star Wars news from Comic-Con.
That's all the Twitter feedback I'm going to read. The rest of it's just kind of replies and stuff.
You had a pergola tweet in there.
Yeah, but we don't need to. we don't need
Well,
to talk about
maybe we
all the
should talk about
pergola
that.
talk. I mean, if
Hashtag pergola.
if you
we
guys-
should start doing
if you guys
hashtag
want to
patio
talk about my
project.
pergola,
Nobody wants to talk about your dumb pergola.
you know what? I bet some of the listeners want to know what my pergola looks like. So if
It looks
anybody
like
does,
every pergola you've ever seen ever.
no, it does not.
Yes,
I
it
had
does.
some design flaws, and I had to make accommodations for those.
There's 4 posts and then 30% of a roof.
If anyone
I
wants
was
to see the
thinking
pergola I
about,
built,
was it,
please,
it was,
please let me know. I will send pictures on Facebook if anybody requests them.
I was thinking about Adam Strange
Yeah, he
the
hasn't.
other day because.
Oh, he emailed us. 'Cause
Yeah,
he hasn't.
But
talked
you
to us
were
much
using
lately.
your tiller.
Yeah, my
And he's the
Montgomery
one that
Ward
has
tiller.
the same. He sent a picture in
Yeah.
of his tiller.
Yeah, his amazing
This is only like
Montgomery
the
Ward
second
tiller.
time you've ever used the tiller.
Do you know why I like that tiller so much?
No.
No matter what, that thing starts on the second pole every time. No other engine that I've ever dealt with does that. Ever.
You get a Honda lawnmower.
Oh, really?
It'll start on the first pole every time.
Oh.
I didn't know Honda made lawnmowers.
Honda is the biggest small engine manufacturer in the world.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
I knew they make jet engines for like real fancy planes.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Do you want to start
talk.
on letters? Jenny, do you want to read the letters?
My
We'll probably
phone's
not do all the
almost dead.
letters. We'll probably...
Or are you running out of steam?
Well, it's freaking
I
late.
will read them if you pull them up on your phone. My phone is dead.
Here you go. All you got to do is click through them. They're all searched up. Reverse order.
When are we supposed to start?
Right there.
Okay, this is from Matt Cox.
That's not the mic. That's the pop filter.
I wasn't trying to hold the mic.
you like
You
hold
moved the pop,
pop filter, and then you were holding it so that it was real close, like it was the mic. That's awesome.
I wasn't trying to do that. This is from Matt Cox. He says, at the end of the Lost Stars
Optimus Prime.
At the end of the Lost Stars episode, one of the fellow listeners wrote in to say he agreed with the no halvesies on lightsaber ratings, and I don't get it. Why is the half lightsaber rating so hated? The ways I sees it is lightsaber powered on would constitute the whole one, and it powered down being just the hilt would be the half. The first time you mentioned half ratings, I pictured 8 different colored laser swords with one unpowered hilt next to it, and it brought me joy. Now people are trying to steal my happiness. I'm never going to stop with the half ratings and the quarter ratings. You want me to read all the responses?
No, just
Okay.
Tim can respond.
Yeah, we'll just respond. So, we don't have to read the responses to the
This is a
emails.
fairly funny thread.
Oh, well, read them. I don't care. Do whatever you want.
Tim said his short answer is that every time I do something Mason wants, he gains a little more power.
Yes.
If he becomes too powerful, he consumes the earth.
Yes.
Mason supported halves, so I chose to not support it to protect the planet and possibly the universe.
Yes. You're welcome.
And then
World.
Coxtimus says,
Universe.
so what you're saying is that Tosh is actually Galacticus. Well,
Galactus.
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 Or if you watch the second Fantastic
Unicron.
Four movie, Galactus.
Galactus.
Yeah.
Tim says, I think you're beginning to understand. Your training is paying off. Nerd Squad, unite. Ha ha. And then Josh says, it's very vain of you to think that anything you do has an impact on my ability to consume the earth.
Oh, man. Good one, Josh.
All right. Jesus says, hello, SNU. Great episode as always. I just read Kanan, First Blood, and loved it. I also enjoyed the medical droid interaction with Kanan and him being rude or just direct. Didn't surprise me at all. I've noticed that droids in the Star Wars universe fall only into two distinct personality categories, what I'll call the R2s and the 3POs. 3POs are eager to serve and inform and are overly friendly, annoyingly so. C3PO, AZ3, I guess that was from
He's just
Clone
listing off
Wars. Yeah.
annoying.
The others are the R2s who seem extremely independent, sarcastic, and sometimes grumpy. R2-D2, Chopper, BB-8, and then
etc.,
some more.
etc.
Both categories will ultimately serve their master and are never really independent. Point being, there are no droids with a moderate personality, and I'm only talking about droids with personalities, not droids who strictly serve a function, like a battle droid. That's my thoughts on droids. On the patches, you mentioned some tweaks. I'm already thinking some poster t-shirt ideas. I'm hoping to get feedback before the 13th because I'm traveling to London for the rest of the month. Oh, you are? Yes,
Jeez.
I'm going to Star Wars Celebration. So I'll make sure to take lots of pictures and send any news and info I get your way. I'm going to a Rogue One panel and Rebels Season 3 showing. I can be the SNU unofficial correspondent. Hopefully that'll deem me worthy enough to be part of the squadron. I think so. You're creating our patches. I think we'd give you one.
And he put a bunch of stuff on Instagram. His
Oh, and
travel
Tim, thanks for pointing out Pepe Larraz. I'm now a fan. Have you seen his Nick Cage as Superman poster? Make me wish that movie would have happened.
Have
Thanks.
you guys seen that? There was going to be a Nick Cage Superman movie directed by what's his name? The dude that did the 1989 Batman movie.
It's got Courtney Cox in it.
Tim Burton?
Tim Burton. Yeah. How weird would that have been?
Kind of weird.
That would have been very weird.
Yeah.
This looks like, what's his name? Kevin Spacey? Is that his name?
It's Nick Cage.
No,
I'm
she's
not-
talking about the bad guy.
Oh.
Lex Luthor.
And this is Courtney Cox, for sure.
As Lois Lane.
So, Jesus, first off, we're SWNU. Although you're probably right from a branding standpoint, SNU makes more sense and is easier to say. But we do things the hard way. What else did he talk about? Oh,
The droids.
the droids.
There's no moderate personality.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of droids that are different. There's like the in canon, I don't know for sure, but out of canon, the Jabba's Palace book, that droid that tortured the other droids and was like turning over the power droids and burning their feet, and he was different than 3PO and R2.
HK-47, who's technically in canon.
In Darth Vader comic. So.
IG-88.
Yeah, but
Orlam. I mean, we don't expressly see them, but the 000.
he's not wrong that they're playing to two separate personality types that play well for inanimate, or not inanimate, but non-sentient beings, and ones that don't necessarily speak words. So they are playing to those personality types. I agree with that. But those are the most obvious roles, right?
Yeah, I think he's
Sure.
right. That makes sense.
But there's more out there in the expanded universe.
So what was the other? Oh, he went to Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah,
he
we talked
posted
about
he
that,
posted
yeah.
a whole bunch of videos.
Yeah, we're jealous.
We're very jealous. He needs to invite us next time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jesus, for making the Nerd Squadron patch. I'm just going to officially announce that Jesus is in Nerd Squadron based on his work
Absolutely.
on the patch. Do we want to induct other members? You want to
Not
do
It's
that?
your
right.
deal.
All right, it's my deal. Icy Spidey's in for sure.
Uh-huh. Coxtimus.
Muster.
Yeah.
Muster guy's in.
Joel Shetman.
Joel Shetman.
You're gonna run out of X-wings pretty quick.
No, I'm not.
Infinite X-wings.
Well, Coxtimus is new, but he's
He
Adam.
He's in.
Adam. RC Finn, he's in.
Uh-huh. Adam Strange.
Adam Strange was already in. He was in the first round. John J. Best.
He's already in.
John J. Best Peoria, he was in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the first ones.
He self-proclaimed himself.
Oh, yeah.
He told us he was in.
Who am I
You
forgetting?
better catalog this stuff somewhere.
I have a catalog right up in the old thinker train.
All right.
Who am I forgetting?
I don't know.
Linda.
Linda hasn't emailed in a while.
Uh-oh.
She's probably gone.
Linda,
Ugh.
where are you?
Linda would, yeah, she would have gotten in.
Uh,
that close.
Georgie BMX. He's in. He's in.
all right, I'm going to keep
Keep
reading.
moving. Keep the train
Has
moving.
there ever been a mention of Chewbacca owing Han a life debt in Star Wars official canon? I remember hearing about it in the Extended U, but not lately. Thanks. That's from Jeff Uppel. Great question. We will give the answer on the air. Thanks for the email.
Don't say
you
that.
don't have to read the thread.
The simplest answer
You
is that
don't have to
You don't
do
have to
it.
read the thread.
why?
Just skip the threads.
Because-
Just read the actual email and we'll talk
We're
about
gonna
it.
respond to the email now.
I thought you already did in that email.
Well, we did.
But it's way more interesting if we actually talk instead of just read the email.
All right.
She's falling asleep. She's asleep.
Just answer the question so we can move on.
Spoiling Bloodline.
Wow.
Or not Bloodline, but Aftermath book 2.
Life debt.
Yes, he does, but Chewie is the one that says, I have a life debt to you, and Han thinks it's stupid.
Correct.
But in the old canon, Han was a lot more like, yeah, he has a life debt to me, and I'm into it. But at the same time, he's free to do whatever he wants. He's got his own choices. And in Aftermath, he's a lot more like, he just thinks it's a ridiculous idea.
Yes.
Okay.
But prior to that, it has not been mentioned.
Right, correct.
All right. Matt Cox again. Great episode.
Coximus Prime.
His email
It's
handle
he's
is
Coximus.
Matt Cox
He's Coximus Prime.
on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter.
Coximus Prime's better. That's a better name. He should just change his Gmail name to that.
Well, until he does, I'm going to say Matt Cox when I'm reading
I
from his
agree.
Gmail.
Okay.
Great episode as always, but tiny episodes are not welcome.
Ooh,
45 minutes minimum. Thanks,
Nope.
folks.
not gonna happen.
Well,
This
here we
one
are.
is.
We're
We're over an hour.
over an
but
hour. All right. Another one from Matt Cox.
I like the short ones. I really
Welcome
like the
back,
short
fam.
ones.
Glad I have a couple eps to listen to now and listening to the Lost Stars review. I just kept thinking, man, I really want to read and watch Harry Potter right now. And then y'all went and talked about Harry Potter.
ones.
Goosebumps.
Because Harry Potter's
Wow.
awesome.
'Cause we're so
Because you're
in tune.
part of the nerd squadron
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
once
we have
you're-
like the hive mentality.
Once you're part of it, you're part of us, and you start to feel things like that all the time.
Okay. This was from
I
July
kind of want to watch
6th.
Harry Potter right now too.
Rob, how do you think you say this? Find a scene? Find
It's RC Finn.
I'm going to say
Findison?
Findison is probably my
Findison.
interpretation.
How would a pilot be affected by hard maneuvers
Yeah.
in a microgravity environment? Would they still need a G suit or comparable system due to inertia, or would that need be mitigated? I am thinking of both X-Wing and TIE fighter pilots in particular. Thank you, and please keep up the good content.
Do you want to read the response?
No,
I-
See if you
tell the response. Don't read it. What's the response, Josh?
They would, because the necessity for what we call G suits is because of an acceleration. It just happens to be in a unit of G's because we have a constant acceleration on planet Earth due to gravity that is 1g, so it makes it simple to have a reference. So what happens is anytime you are in motion and you change which direction you're going in, you could be going forward and you go more forward, or going forward and then go backwards, or be turning in a circle. There's lots of different ways that you can change your direction of motion. You are having an acceleration imparted upon you. And so
But there's no gravity.
the gravity is not relevant to acceleration. Gravity is a unit of acceleration.
So if you accelerate where there's no gravity, you create
if you're in the
gravity.
middle of space and you go from 0 kilometers per hour
Yeah.
to 10 kilometers per hour in 1 second, you just accelerated at 10 kilometers per hour per second.
Right, but are you pushed back in your pilot
Yes.
chair?
Yes.
Really?
You will feel an opposite force to your forward motion, because for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction due to the laws of energy.
I guess
so-
that makes sense.
No, it's 100% makes sense, because acceleration is not dependent on gravity. And so
No,
what
I know
happens,
acceleration isn't, but
when you have-
your ability to feel the acceleration.
you can feel acceleration at any time. That's why when you drive in a circle on Earth, you feel the car pushing you inwards.
Yeah, I know that, but
All right,
isn't
so that's just
because,
an acceleration. It has nothing to do with gravity.
Okay.
How would
That's
gravity be
interesting.
pushing you sideways?
I guess it wouldn't be, but
Right.
it seems, yeah, okay.
So when you have the reason you have pressure suits is because when you have positive G's, it drains the blood from your brain. It pushes blood down towards the bottom of your body, and your heart does not have enough pressure to push the blood up to your brain. When you have negative G's, you have the opposite phenomena. That's where, like, if you go over a hill and you feel weightless for a little, you're feeling a negative
Yeah, when
G.
your tum-tum feels funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of your blood is going to your brain. It's rushing to your brain. And so typically you're going to experience mainly predominantly positive G's if you're doing like flight maneuvers. This would be in space, on Earth, no matter where.
Unless you dropped.
But that's the thing, is dropping is only one specific motion. And normally you don't do that because of how planes work.
But if you're in space, there is no drop. You have the full access
It
to
depends.
Z.
So let's say we're flying the Millennium Falcon in a straight line.
Yeah.
And then we dip the nose down.
Right.
We would feel a drop,
Right.
even though we're not
because
dropping.
it's relative to the direction you were going
Correct.
before. Right.
So you wear these pressure suits. So what happens is when they have little sensors, and when it feels positive G's, it pressurizes your legs so that the blood cannot go into your legs. And it prevents because what'll happen is you'll black out because you'll get too low oxygen in your brain.
So it pushes on your legs so that
Yes,
it
it
keeps the blood from
pressurizes-
going down.
Yes. It prevents blood from going down, moving down your body.
Probably like pressure stockings.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
So
help.
yes, the answer is if you were a fighter pilot in an X-Wing, you would hope to all hopes that either they invented some magic technology that made a microgravity environment inside your cockpit that kept it always at 1G downwards, or you'd have a flight suit.
Do you remember when we were reading the Rogue Squadron books, non-canon, but when Corran Horn, he used to actually turn on some environmental whatever state in his cockpit so that he could feel when he was
Better.
moving.
Yeah.
So what bearing does that have?
It's Star Wars, so I mean,
Ugh.
we're not talking about real physics.
Okay. But in real space,
In real space,
I'm wearing a pressurization
if you
suit.
could pull maneuvers like that, yes. You would hope you would be. Otherwise, you just black out.
Huh. Interesting. Okay.
All right,
good.
another one from Matt Cox. Hear you talk
Cox
about
was fine.
Turvis cups on the podcast, and I just so happen to be drinking out of my Star Wars cup right now. And he sent a picture.
It's got a handle.
It
Yeah.
has a handle.
Yeah.
It's a stormtrooper mask.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they had them with handles. I thought they didn't. And then he reveals that it's an accessory. And then my wife bought me said accessory.
And he hasn't used it once, or even taken it to put it on his cup.
I was confused about why I would need it. I guess it would be for hot beverages, but I would never put a hot beverage in it. Although I will on Monday when I drive to Mississippi.
All right, another one from Jesus. Hello, SNU. I just rewatched the Clone
SWNU.
Wars season 6. Do you want me to read, or do you want to read?
I'm adding commentary.
I'm reading his words.
He's saying it so that in future emails he will correct
Well, you already
it.
said it. I think he got it. I just rewatched the Clone Wars season 6, and it got me thinking. Since the Clone Wars was canceled after Disney bought Lucasfilm and season 6 was pushed to Netflix after the acquisition, wouldn't season 6 fall under the current Disney canon, even though it was mostly done before it? Think this is a loophole, and you all can talk about what's probably the best season
Well,
of
let's
the
stop
Clone
there.
Wars.
All of the Clone Wars is in
Yes.
canon.
Yeah, we
It
are.
is.
Even though
Officially.
it was
We knew
made
that.
prior to Disney acquiring them, all of Clone Wars is in
Yeah,
canon, including the
which
movie.
is huge.
Right.
Which is huge.
Okay, so then he says, you all can talk about the best season of Clone Wars, right? So we can talk about anything from Clone Wars, is the answer to that. Also, Josh, Peaky Blinders is about insanely fashionable, good-looking men who somehow live in the early 20th century that have razors in their Goran Bros hats, and Tom Hardy kicks some butts. So on episode 77, because we had talked about
Right.
what, and you had no idea what Peaky
I
Blinders.
still don't know what it is.
It's
While
a TV show
deciding on
Netflix.
you have to know exactly what it is now. So on episode 77, while deciding on the patches, which again I'm super excited that you guys like them, you kept referring to them as logos. These are great patches, but horrible and super busy logos. Like, I wouldn't design a logo with these many elements, so I decided to make some. I did them just out of appreciation for the podcast and because they would make great icons for the podcast.
Hint, hint.
Although I probably wouldn't change the ones you guys have. In any case, here's my vision for the podcast look and feel, and I can explain my creative rationale in another email. So
We're
we're
looking
clicking on the link.
This mega fast iPad is currently attempting to open a
It's
PDF.
a big
10%.
PDF file. It's a big PDF
It's
file.
like 3 pictures.
Oh, here we go.
There it is.
I really like the first one. It's like purple, and then it fades down into pink, and it's
and it has headphones, right?
Yeah,
so it
it's really
denotes
cute.
listening.
oh, but it says SNU.
Yeah, I know. That's the exception that I had with all the logos. And he, from a branding perspective, honestly, he's probably right to shorten it because SWNU does not exactly roll off the tongue. So I might need to make some compromises in my own mind to deal with what this professional is recommending that we do. So instead of SWNU, we would just say SNU.
They're really cool.
I don't like
They
the
are really cool.
headphones.
Really?
They're too round.
I like them. I like the flat design, and I like the color gradients a lot. I like the color choices that he made too.
I just don't like the round headphones.
How do you want them shaped?
I don't know. I just more
With
boxy.
spikes. He wants
Yeah,
spikes.
Like your ice picks into the
Lightsabers
ears.
coming out at various angles.
No, that's silly.
I just don't like round headphones.
They look good.
Okay,
But thank you very much.
I love them.
I like them too.
All right, Matt Cox again. Hi, y'all. 'Tis I again, Coximus Prime. I feel like I've bombarded you with emails the last few days, but that's basically your own fault for releasing so many great episodes all at once. I've been enjoying the short Kanan block. I've read the first 2 comics and decided to wait for the collective, but it sounds like a great comic. Thanks for sharing. Do you think a review of the Poe comic will be happening as well? Yes, it will. I got the first comic, but still haven't even opened it. Also, I'm putting in motion to strike Twitter from the allowable forms of communication. I made a Twitter account just to write in, and I instantly hate everything it stands for. So unless you guys want to start an Instagram, which so far is the easiest, most clear-cut way for social media, everything I send will be emailed. I think email is the greatest way to talk to us.
Yeah, it really is because people have more complete thoughts. I might actually stop reading the Twitter comments because they're a little disjointed.
What?
Yeah.
No, I
think it's a good way to communicate, like in a normal, like day to day. You're pooping or eating your steak at lunch.
What? Who eats steak for lunch?
I do every day. That's what you think.
I don't think that. That's bizarre.
We'll get to post someday.
All right. Anyway, okay, this is from Nick Anthony. I don't think I even know who this is.
No, he's new.
Hello, SN. Oh man, the SNU thing
I
is
know.
spreading.
I know.
Hello, SNU crew. Major fan of the podcast, but don't want to bore you with further hyperbole. Wanted to ask your opinion on the Rogue One reshoots, although I fully realize this is fairly old hat. The only thing that concerns me is the rumor that they are intending to lighten the tone of the film. In my opinion, if the whole point of the Star Wars stories is to create a unique element in the Star Wars universe, then leave the heavier, dark tone, which, considering it's essentially supposed to be a war film, makes sense. Sincerest apologies if you have already discussed this, but I don't remember you doing so, and thank you very much for your time in reading this email. He's so polite.
Yeah,
Very
for real.
cool.
Wow, thanks,
Luckily,
Nick Anthony.
that we did not respond to this in a timely fashion. We have hindsight on our side, and they talked a lot about that at Celebration.
Yeah,
And
I didn't reply to him.
we didn't reply.
I'm sorry, Nick.
I'm gonna reply to him today.
I'm doing it right now.
So basically what came out of Celebration, and it kind of blew up the internet quickly when like the word of the reshoots came out, and everyone's like, oh, they're changing 50% of the movie, and everyone was super scared, and like everyone thinks that they hate the director and all this stuff. And then you watch Celebration, and it couldn't have been any more opposite. Like, it was a love fest for the director. What they showed was, it kept the darker tone, and
I hope it does.
they're doubling down basically on the war movie type of film. So I think
But that was like the opposite of what was kind of being said. Was that
That's what I
just
just
rumors
said.
and things, or
yeah, it all started with rumors and
oh
I'm glad the rumors aren't true.
variety and
yeah, because the fact that we are having variety in the stories is important.
The
I mean,
whole
no, Variety is a trade paper that
No.
broke the story.
But I'm talking
Right.
literally about variety
Sure.
in the types of Star Wars movies that we get. If
Yeah.
they all are the same tone, I don't want them. Like, I want different toned movies every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Or at least give me some variation in them.
So I think we all agree that we want it to be darker and
Yeah.
more movie. And
Absolutely.
I think we'll get that in
Good.
December.
And I'm looking forward to it. And thank you for emailing in. I think that's your first letter, bro.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry we didn't respond earlier.
Yeah, we normally do a quick response via email. I'm not sure why we missed that one. Probably because I was building my pergola,
Probably.
if I had to
Maybe.
guess.
So then we
roll
have
from Jen.
this was the week that Nolan left. So I was busy with that too.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is from Green
It's
Lantern.
from Adam Strange.
What? Oh, okay.
He changed his Gmail thing so it says Green Lantern.
Okay, so the cover issue with Kanan. He had this issue with an old Transformer comic when I was a kid. Total disappointment. Even called the comic shop to complain.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Must have been fulfilling to get a call from a snot-nosed Johnny comic book complaining about Megaton's absence from a comic that
Megatron.
totally...
But he probably, the little kid, Adam
It
Strange,
says
probably called him
megatons.
Megaton.
Oh, whatever.
doubt it.
Whatever. I don't know.
Watch the cartoon.
From a comic that totally portrayed him on the cover. They probably changed the story after the cover was already commissioned. But there was pain, so I complained. Been out of touch lately, but I'm still here. Josh's critique of Jen's synopsis. You skipped over a lot, even though you talked a lot. I
That's it.
had the, oh no he didn't face, but I thought the synopsis was fine. You skipped over a lot, even though you talked a lot.
Yeah.
I forgot you even said that. Non-lifetime, I can't win. That's just like sums it all up.
Yeah.
Non-lifetime comic people key on different things than Johnny's. See on the printed page.
That's true.
Later, Adam Strange, #Nerd Squadron. P.S. I'm working on my explanation of why The Force Awakens was like A New Hope. Almost got it down. Wow, he's been working on that for a while.
So, going back to his disappointment, I read that very same comic, and I actually remember feeling the same thing.
Wow.
I know exactly
it's-
the issue, and I know exactly the cover.
It's horrible. And yet you tried to defend the Kanan book. Oh, it's just a cover.
It's because I get it now. It's because
Oh
I
my
get it
gosh.
now as a comic book reader.
We
get
didn't. We didn't respond to this email either.
No,
What? He knows though.
there was a gray period where I didn't respond to emails.
He knows. Adam Strange knows what's going down.
All right, John Best. From Kanan series, there was talk of generations. Link below generally follows other data on definitions of the. Oh, this is like. Okay. I was like, generations. Okay, boomers were born 45 to 64. Gen X was born 65 to 81. Gen Y / millennials 81 to 2000. And Gen Z 2000 to question mark. There are multiple descriptions, but this seems pretty close to the norm. Some sites show overlap between the ranges with the generation being 20 years. So I missed Generation X by 1 year.
Yeah,
You're stuck.
we
With the
stuck.
millennials.
We are millennials.
This is the only time I will ever say I wish I was 1 year older in my life.
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
Why is that
for
so?
The
I can't be
Data.
associated with those people.
Yeah,
okay,
he wrecked your life.
Mark Bolton. Hey, SWNU.
We did this one already.
Okay,
Yeah.
skip.
Skip.
Yeah, that was the one we read on last episode.
Okay,
That was
this
the
Let's
only
save
email we
this
did.
one. 'Cause
this is a
ginormous
big one.
Let's
Okay,
save
that
it.
was from That was from Adam Strange.
That's
okay,
his tree ties on
Meg.
The Force Awakens.
This is
Yeah,
at Lady
sorry,
Meg.
not to hold you back, Adam.
We'll get to it.
Yeah, we will.
I am sending you a letter. She has it on like all caps. Look at all these awesome ebook deals. Everyone needs more cheap romance fantasy novels. Cheaper than comics and a lot more pages. Not as much pretty art though. Oh, decisions. Actually, I've heard Sleeping Giants is really good. Meg, who prefers books to comics, sorry. So then she sent all these.
She just forwarded us a spam email that she got. Because I asked for more emails. And she said she would give us more.
Oh,
Yeah.
so she sent us one. I don't think that was spam, though.
No, it was Amazon links, like
Yeah, I think
to
that was, like,
romance novels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spam.
And I couldn't.
That's not spam.
I couldn't even look at the pictures because they make me uncomfortable. Romance novel like images
Yeah.
make me feel weird inside.
Yeah. 3
3
weeks,
weeks to wed.
And she
Her
reads them.
dress is falling off. Yeah.
Okay. Icy Spidey. What's up, Nerd Squadron? Icy Spidey here. Most of the celebration panels and interviews are finally being released on YouTube, and I am having a blast watching each and every one of them. The Season 3 trailer for Rebels absolutely blew me away. I still get goosebumps just thinking about it. I don't know if I am a fan of Ezra's new haircut, but his new green lightsaber is super cool, and I can't wait to find out how he made it. Kanan's new mask with markings similar to Rex's clone trooper helmet is a cool way to show how close these two characters have gotten since their initial rough start. I get kind of bummed out thinking about how Kanan is blind now, but the scene in the trailer that shows him getting possessed by Mother Talzin of the Night Sister gives me hope that maybe, just maybe, he will get his sight back. I completely missed that in the trailer.
That was the green smoke that was enveloping his head.
Mother Talzin's the one that gave Darth Maul his legs.
And yeah.
He doesn't
Eye
have
roll.
legs.
Audible eye roll from Jay.
Yeah.
So Grand Admiral Thrawn is now canon, and everyone is very excited about that. I honestly don't know much about him. Me neither. Maybe you guys can drop some knowledge for me. At the very beginning of the trailer, you hear Ezra yell, Ahsoka! With that, and the hints that Dave Filoni was dropping, I am very hopeful for the future of Ahsoka. By the way, Ahsoka riding giant wolves is the coolest. I currently have a few different tattoos, but no Star Wars tattoos. I have been thinking it is time to fix that, but I haven't settled on exactly what I want yet. Josh,
Whew. This is
He's
the wrong
calling you
person to
out.
ask.
if you were to get a Star Wars tattoo, what tattoo would you get?
Yeah, I'm against tattoos. Sorry.
I don't have any tattoos either, but Tim does, and Tim was actually going to get a Star Wars tattoo.
Yeah.
He's threatened multiple times.
It's not
What-
a threat.
What was it was going to be a
The Rogue Squadron, but with the Arabesh on the outside.
Yeah, I don't understand the allure of tattoos.
It's cool.
But it isn't.
It's cute.
Super cool. So, I think
Maybe
Icy
we can
Spidey. I
have-
think you should get the Nerd Squadron tattoo.
I was going to say maybe we can have Jesus.
No, you should never get a Nerd Squadron tattoo.
You absolutely should.
So that way, in like 15 years, when you have a kid and they're asking you what's that on your arm, you don't have to explain what it is.
Yeah, you just say it's from
When I
hashtag
made a
Nerd Squadron.
foolish decision to get a Nerd Squadron tattoo.
Hashtag Star Wars Nerds Unite, the most popular podcast on the internet.
He can say, you know, Tim and Josh and Jen, those famous people
Yeah.
that I told you I met that
godparents.
one time.
Parents.
You know, Uncle Joshy,
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, that's us.
No, maybe Jesus can design a tattoo logo for
Please
all of
don't
the
design
members of
tattoos for
Squadron.
people.
A tattoo logo? Why wouldn't they just? Oh, I guess the regular Nerd Squadron, the patch is busy.
Yeah, you don't want it.
Yeah, you don't want a busy tattoo.
Okay.
Well, he asked another question about Thrawn. He wanted to drop knowledge. So,
yeah, you
didn't we
guys
do
have been
that already?
talking about him a few times.
We didn't really.
I thought we talked about who Thrawn was.
Yeah,
He was
he
kind
doesn't
of
really know who he is.
because they downplay this big time in current continuity, but old continuity, the Empire was super racist, and they disliked anybody who wasn't
a
human.
white male.
Yeah, basically, yes. Yeah, yes. And they were playing up to kind of the, for lack of a better term, Nazi vibes, right?
Right.
So, but
Thrawn
there
is
was
a chiss.
Thrawn is a chiss. He's got blue skin and like red eyes
Yep.
and like weird hair, kind of. But he has like a humanoid form, and he's a genius. He is a brilliant admiral, and he knows. His whole thing is that he analyzes his combatant by analyzing his combatant's culture. So he digests that culture's operas and music and art, and he will actually like decorate his office or whatever his quarters with his opponent's artwork, and he will examine it and
He will absorb himself into it.
right. And then he figures out what that person's tendencies are going to be because of how their culture is.
Right.
So that's how he is a brilliant admiral. And Emperor Palpatine saw that and kept him sort of hidden because he was trying to promote this whole white power thing in the Empire.
But
so
he
he
knew he
threw
was
him
a
out the
brilliant
outer
commander.
rim, but he knew he was brilliant. And then when he shows up with Palion,
Well, because Palpatine dies. So in
Right.
the power vacuum,
Thrawn shows up and basically throws down and takes over some of the other warlord
the
stuff.
Imperial Remnant.
The fact that I remember this story so well, I've only read these 3 books one time each way back 20 years ago, and I remember so much of this story. Gives you some sort of indication how impactful it was for me at that point, formative. So I think that's why Thrawn has so much power to people. I would be really curious if we were to reread those books and see how good they actually are now that we're adults instead of kids. But at the time, they were epic. I mean,
Right. And they were the only thing.
but not for
In the
me.
universe.
My
Well,
first Star Wars
sure.
books was Rogue Squadron. So
Sure.
there was a bunch of books that had come out already, but I went back and consumed those. When those first came out, they were the first ones. So yeah. Anyway, that's Thrawn, and that's why he's important, because he was a genius, and they treated him like that. They built up a brand new villain who was epic, and the heroes had to go against him.
All right.
All right.
And they set up, what was his name? Gerard Pelion?
Yeah. Paleon.
I don't know how you pronounce it, but that's how I always did. So he becomes like a major character and ends up leading the Empire later on. He was like Thrawn's assistant and becomes his protege. He's Thrawn teaches him everything he knows, and then Pelion becomes a genius as well.
His analog is Sloane in the current canon.
Yes, it is. It really is. And I liked Pelion a lot. He was one of my favorite characters. And he was Empire. I usually don't like Empire characters. All right, so that was my long Thrawn
That's a lot of
explanation.
knowledge you just dropped on
I did.
IC Spidey.
I did.
All right. This is from John Best. Star Wars and you,
We
crew.
already talked about this one. It's how many people are like Jedi.
Oh, we didn't actually talk about it. I
Oh, we
started to
didn't?
on Facebook. I said, we'll read the email.
Okay, sorry.
Oh. Sorry for the delay. I just finished episode 75 and heard my mandate. So here we go. Census numbers show concentrations of reported Jedi primarily in UK, New Zealand, Australia, and other European countries, with numbers ranging from 0.1% to 1.5%, which places Jediism in top 4 or 5 religions in some nations. There is no well-defined organization or standard philosophy currently, but the most organized structure seems to be that founded by Daniel M. Jones' Church of Jediism. Number 2, though other organizations are...
Those are his footnotes, so you don't have to say the numbers.
Okay. Though other organizations are also seeking to define their own structure. Doctrine is varied, but generally follows tenets, code, teachings and maxims documented here, and he gives some links, and in a video and book on the Jedi path.
Boom.
It sounds like this would be a lot like
Buddhism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for stealing my idea.
I'm a Jedi now. I'm calling it.
Kapow.
I'm officially a Jedi. I
think you have a lot of work to do before you become a Jedi.
I think we should end there.
Why?
Because the rest of the emails are all like from today or yesterday, so we're caught up.
Yeah, it's pretty late. Well, we had Yvonne.
Yeah, we have another brand new person.
Yeah, let's read hers.
Yvonne. Hello, SW.
What's her last name?
It doesn't matter.
Sichsens?
I think that's close.
Sichsens?
I think it's Sushins or Sishins.
Sishins?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Well, she signs it Yvonne, so she doesn't necessarily want her last name on the air.
Oh well, nobody would know how to spell it based on that butchering we just attempted.
Okay, so she called us SW nerds. I'm a longtime listener and a first-time letter writer. I was never much of a Star Wars fan, but then I saw The Force Awakens and I was totally hooked. I can't wait for Rogue One.
Yeah.
I found your podcast while looking for more SW content afterwards and have thoroughly enjoyed catching up to where you are now. I still have yet to actually read a comic or novel or to actually watch the TV series, but I appreciate the larger view of the SW universe you provide us all. Tim, kudos on keeping your 2 co-hosts on track, but it's okay to make longer podcasts. I love listening to you guys talk, even if it's nonsense.
Which was 145 minutes or 1 hour and 45 minutes of pure nonsense this episode. You're welcome, Yvonne.
Josh.
And hey.
I'm in the middle of an email.
Yeah, but I'm commenting on it.
I know what you're
Comment
doing.
ho.
Fine. No.
Josh,
I'm done.
I like your synopsis, but for Quasar's sake, lighten up a little. Jen, well done on dealing with those 2 know-it-alls, and thank you for being the voice of Star Wars noobs like me. Anyway, since I love listening to you guys ramble, here are some random Star Wars universe questions for you to discuss. Would you rather fly an X-Wing or wield a lightsaber?
Lightsaber.
X-Wing.
Lightsaber.
Lightsaber.
X-Wing.
I wouldn't want to fly. Lightsaber for me. Speak droid or speak alien?
Neither.
Alien. Well,
I don't.
if you're a protocol droid, you could speak any language, right?
But he would just speak basic to you.
It
don't
would
really wanna
depend. It would
speak
depend on
another
which
language.
alien. I mean, like if I could speak all the alien languages, I would pick that. But if I had to pick a particular one, do you remember in Galaxies where you had to learn languages?
Yeah, you had to teach
Gosh,
each other.
that was so cool. So cool.
It just showed up as gibberish if you didn't know.
Did you notice how and we can talk about this later, but in Aftermath they actually have lines where they talk in Zabrak.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think speaking droid is I don't know. If speaking droid meant access to multiple languages, that would be cool.
Yeah, I think either way, I'm trying to get at multiple languages.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll speak alien.
Need spider legs or need a breathing mask?
Spider legs.
I don't think I'd want a breathing mask. And spider legs could help you in a lot of ways, I guess.
Breathing mask.
Spider legs.
Ugh.
Do you notice I'm opposite of you two the whole
Yeah.
way across?
Yeah.
That's the kind of podcast
what
we are.
were you gonna say?
Those are great questions.
Yeah, they are.
Good job, Yvonne. I like those a lot. I don't remember. It doesn't matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted you to let me get through her email, and then you can comment.
Some people like the short episodes. Okay.
Nobody likes
Some
that
people
episode.
do. We know
Some people
that.
do. I do.
Okay. We
I
only.
Especially if we put out 6 podcasts in a month or however many we did in July. Why wouldn't we do short ones? It's more exciting. You get them more often.
Long ones are
I
better.
like it. So
Okay.
we had official Nerd Squadron inductees.
Wait, hang on a second. We only have 2 more emails.
Yeah, well, let's save some for the next
save 'em.
episode.
Oh,
We're
we're going to
almost
have
2
more
hours
by
long.
then.
Yeah, we'll read them on the next one.
Fine.
We'll be all right. So we inducted new Nerd Squadron people. It's official. Those members that have been emailing in, wanting in, they're now officially members. of
Where
Nerd
you at,
Squadron.
Linda?
She would have gotten in too.
She was really like heavy for
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah.
Maybe she's
she
just
probably got
being
mad
busy.
because we didn't get her in. Or she just doesn't care about Kanan, which is also possible.
Or she's been on vacation. It's summer
Vacay,
or something.
as I like to say. Vacay.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody that wrote in and emailed in. We put out some short ones, recorded them all kind of in one day, and then got a lot of feedback, so we saved it for one big episode like Josh the Tosh wanted. I'd love it if everybody commented on the picture on Facebook about how funny it is and what a good joke it is. My wife tells me that I don't know how to tell jokes, or I'm bad at jokes and I'm not funny. She tells me that all the time.
I don't tell you you're not funny.
Um,
I tell you you're really funny. But you say things are a joke when they're not a joke. It's
Like when I
just
make up
something you
words.
find funny.
or like when I create a picture that is the funniest thing on the internet.
When you
I think maybe you just
when
need
you
to know
say a
Josh.
word that's not really a word and then you call that a joke. Just saying a weird word isn't a joke.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, you can say it's funny, but you can't say that was a joke.
I think we need to know who's right. So email us.
jeez.
Tell us what's right. Letters at starwarsnerdsunite.com.
Why don't we just look up the definition of a joke?
You could be on the air. You could be immortalized on the internet.
Yep.
Like Josh. He'll tell his on-arm girlfriend all about the funny.
On
Yeah,
arm?
you can tell us
all
how
about the thing.
attractive you think the internet is.
Yeah.
What? She's great.
The internet picture.
Yeah.
I didn't know the internet was a female
I didn't
until
either.
today.
Until I saw Josh with her on his arm. Follow us on Twitter at StarWarsNU. We are on the Benview Network. We're on the Retro Junkies Network. StarWarsNerdsUnite.com. Check out our Amazon link. Pretty please order all of your Amazon stuff on that link, and it gives us a teeny bit of money to help pay for hosting and nickel candies. Right, Josh?
Yeah. From our local Pokestop.
Oh, yes. Oh, Pokemon Go. I can't wait till they have actual friends and trading and stuff.
We've already established they're not.
Well, they will.
No, they won't.
Yeah, they will.
No, they won't.
Yeah, they will. If they don't, people are going to get tired of the game.
That doesn't mean anything to Nintendo.
It's not Nintendo. It's Niantic.
It is Nintendo.
It's Niantic.
They will not allow them.
Niantic was the game developer.
I understand that. But Nintendo won't allow them to implement
see.
the social tools that you want.
We'll see.
We will.
We will see. But Niantic's already said they're going to do the trading.
Uh-huh. Not going to happen.
We're going to be friends. All of the people who listen to this podcast, we're going to be friends. We're going to trade Pokemon. Someone needs to get me a Pikachu because I can't find one. Do you have a Pikachu?
There are websites that can tell you where to get Pikachus.
I don't want to cheat.
Okay, is asking the internet cheating? You just ask the internet.
That's different. That's me using the resources at hand.
Oh, and using the internet
A
is different?
website. What's the difference?
I don't know. It feels more like cheating to me.
It's not.
What else do we need to talk about? Anything?
I don't think
What
so.
are we going to podcast about next?
Hopefully, Bloodlines.
No, there's no hopefully. We are doing Bloodline. Bloodline. It's singular.
If we don't
I'm
do
gonna
it
talk
soon,
about
I'm going to
plural.
have to reread it. So
I'm already to
better
that
hurry
point.
up. I
We're
already
going to
forgot
do it
who
the
was
next
in
episode. We're going to record it next, and then the following episode, I hope, is Aftermath.
Life Debt.
And then we will, Life Debt. We will dig in hard on comics again, and you'll get a bunch of short episodes. So,
But some big meaty ones right now.
Yep. All right. May the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
it. May the force be with you.
Did you hear that? We're doomed. This podcast is a part of the Benview Network.
You can find this and other podcasts like it at BenviewNetwork.com.